We drove down Santa Fe Avenue in silence. This is where the tornado did its worst. An American suburb looking more like something out of World War I. It goes on like this beyond those ripped out homes and splintered trees for several miles. In the heart of all this, a flattened elementary school.
I'm going to just listen to your heart and your lungs.
Courtney Brown's second grade class took shelter as the tornado moved in. She's been telling American television what happened next.
The doors kept on opening and shutting by themselves.
Because of the wind?
Yeah.
What was the teacher saying?
Take shelter.
Were you kneeling down?
Yeah, I was on my knees like that. I was doing that.
And all the kids were kneeling?
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened to your school?
Turned into crumbles.
Yeah, it did turn into crumbles. How do you feel about that?
Sad.
What were you thinking?
About my mom.
What were you thinking about your mom?
I missed her. Nope, she was okay.
Courtney's mum, Raquel, was at work when she heard the school had been hit.
Did you think she was dead?
I did. The first I'd heard about the school, my mom had called and told me that it was demolished. There was nothing left. And she said, I don't know how they could have survived. Luckily, her teacher was there. And she came to me and she said, Courtney went to the hospital. She's okay. She was bleeding, but she's okay.
You lost your house too?
Yeah. But I wasn't really worried about my house. My biggest worry, and I'm still not worried about my house, my biggest worry was my children. So as long as they were okay, I'm good. I can replace everything else. So my kids, I can't.
Jennifer Doan, who teaches at the school, is in hospital with spine and chest injuries and multiple lacerations. She has trouble speaking, but not remembering what happened.
I had my arms over the ones my arm over the ones next to me. I looked up at the door and I put my head down and it just hit.
So you remember using your body to cover some of the kids?
I had my arms around two of them. I was just telling him to keep calm and that they would come. He just kept telling me that he couldn't breathe and he didn't want to die.
How did you get out of it?
It took, I don't know how long we were stuck. And somebody finally came and dug some stuff from right above my head. And they reached their hand out for me.
Jennifer now knows 7 of her 20 students died.
What are you remembering, or what don't you want to remember about what played out?
It's been replaying and replaying in my head.
9-year-old Janae Hornsby was among the dead. Her father Joshua told US television of his desperate race to try and save her.
I had to park around the corner from the school, and when I hit the corner, so where I could see the school was gone, and my heart just sank. The medical examiner, and he told me that they had my daughter, and I knew what he meant, but I didn't want to accept it, so I kept asking, what do you mean she's with you, what is she doing? And that's when he told me she was deceased, and that was it. She's always going to be here in my heart and in my mind. She's always going to be here.
Janae's grandmother searched for her in vain.
We were looking everywhere that we thought we could look, or where they may have said that she may have been taken, or we were looking and trying not to believe the worst. It's like taking a piece out of my heart and just like stomping on it. And to come to terms with that I won't be able to spend no more Sunday dinners with her, no more times at church anymore. all of that stuff that we did together.
The tragedy is compounded by controversy over the school not having a tornado shelter, as politicians argue over who's to blame. The focus now is on helping the victims salvage what they can and find shelter in the aftermath of this unprecedented disaster.
You can get a sense of the power of this tornado with the way the bark has just been ripped off this tree. The scale of the devastation here is absolutely staggering. You can get a sense here of the wasteland here. Cars overturned, carried, yards, houses just ripped off their foundations. And this is house after house, street after street, block after block. It's actually really quite hard to take in what's happened here and to remember that this was a thriving neighbourhood full of family homes.
The neighbourhoods have been locked down.
Questions, though, will soon need answering on the schools and lack of other shelters, and how more lives can be saved if these kinds of tornadoes become more frequent. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News in Moore, Oklahoma.